Hey everybody, welcome into the Just Farming Around with L Ranch. And today we're going to be working on getting our cornfield back into shape and ready to go again. Pulled about 5 million liters off of this field. And quite the little deal there. Ran two of the harvesters on it, forage harvesters, and wound up having to go and pick up an auger trailer to pull behind them. And then normally what I've done in the past with smaller fields is I'll actually run the forage harvester and the semi, and this time I decided, since the trip back and forth to the fermenter was as long as it was, that I would actually run a auger wagon behind, and then when the truck pulls up to load, it will actually load out of both of those at the same time. The auger wagon unloads a little quicker than the forage harvester does, so that allows you to gain some headroom for your forage harvester. So while your truck's running back and forth, your forage harvester doesn't actually have to stop. For those of you who might listen to this later, we're L Ranch here, and pretty much what I try to do is, I'm not an expert at much of anything. I have my own brand of gameplay, we'll call it. I play kind of realistic. I tend to use unrealistic capacities on some of my transport vehicles, and I'll use a unrealistic, let's say this plow, for instance, wouldn't be super practical for most farm operations. You just can't move it around. What I wind up doing is, if I'm going to move this item from one side of the map to the other, what I'll normally do is actually bring a lowboy in, load it on a lowboy, and carry it and follow with the tractor. Just preference. That's the way I do it. Doesn't mean that's the way anybody else needs to do it. But yeah, there's that. Beautiful map. Playing on Judith Plains again. I tend to go back and forth between Judith Plains and the Backroads County maps. I enjoy both of them. Tend to prefer a larger map than the standard maps. For those of you who play on console, more power to you. I have just never actually played it on console. I've been playing since FS17, and if you go back and look through some of my older videos, there's stuff going back a ways. I've never been real consistent with my broadcasts or my videos, however you want to say that. Um, and so because of that, I've never really gained much following on here. I really would like to make some friends on here and actually have some people watch and so I can talk with. I'm from North Central Texas originally, a little place called Dundee in Archer County, and tend to like the bigger maps like this one. I'm not going to, in any shape, form, or fashion, say that this is like Archer County. Way too many trees here. Archer County is, well, quite frankly, there's a lot of ranching there. Very little farming. Most of the farming in Archer County is there to support the ranching industry. Guys plant wheat, but they plant wheat so they can put cattle out on green wheat and get gains there. My family was in the ranching business and farming for, well, since, depending on who you talk to, either the late 1800s, early 1900s, and that's just kind of a making sure he starts these turns correctly. So I'm having an issue with this map. I actually have this plow set to cut new fields right now. Allow create fields is the actual term for this. But for some reason, I still show to have harvested areas in there. And the other thing that's interesting about it, see now here, when we go to plowed, it shows correctly, like it should. And soil composition is all over the place. Basically, so it shows that all this is still completely fertilized and the other is not. Anybody's got any ideas on that, drop me a line. I'd really like to know what's going on. I played on this map in 22, and to be quite frank, I never had this issue either. So, but back to what we're doing here. The game requires, we use the word requires in Farming Simulator rather loosely, but because most things can be either edited in an XML or things can be changed to make it different. I do not play with seasons active, so my planting is not to a seasonal calendar. I plant what I want when I want and go from there. I plant what I want when I want. I harvest when I want. I have modified the weather geo for this particular map so it has more of a Texas weather feel to it. I.e., playing it under Montana, you just get snowed in pretty much every winter. I get, the way this is set up, I do get some snow. Do get a little snow on here, but not nearly what you would on this map in the Montana version. But back to what we were talking about. So let's show you here what we've got. We've got barley here. Probably gonna throw some more fertilizer on that and see if I can get it a little better. Got two big alfalfa fields. I say big, they're relatively large alfalfa fields. This was corn, no longer corn now. Grass is on 142, grass is on 47, and then you come down here, I've got wheat on this, I got wheat on this. This is actually oilseed radish right now. When it switches over to, when it gets up and everything on this, I'll actually plant something here. I'm not sure what I'm going to plant yet. So let's go through equipment. We've got a baler. I'm running a big mower on the McCormick, and I'm running forage wagons behind both the fast tracks there. Again, my helicopter for the hospital and police. This is our warehouse. Here, let's jump off that, and we'll go. Got the old Manitou here, and we also have two semis. Got a flatbed and a box truck, and then we have a bobtail box for moving stuff around. So far, we don't have a lot on here yet. This is actually, I'm gonna call this my backup farm. This is actually the one of the farms on the other side of the map. The only reason I set this up at all was when I'm doing contract work on this far side of the map. That way I've got stuff a little closer. This is all I have over here right now. Is I have a green bean harvester, and then this little man truck. I actually really like these little trucks. In 22, they had a little truck called a Man TGS Special. And it had a cabin on it a lot like a combine, i.e. high glass and everything. I really liked that truck because the cabin, the actual driving cabin, would switch around. You literally could flip it and push the trailer into the building and then flip the cab back. Stupid thing to think about, but yeah, it was cool. There's the green bean harvester. Mower again. Okay, so here's the county barn here. We'll jump out and walk through these. Oop, went through the door. Snow removal here. I've got to do some work over here. Got a road grader, bulldozer, front end loader, dump truck, bucket truck, and this is the county road supervisor vehicle. I'm going to be doing some more role play stuff later on. I'm not doing that yet, but we'll see the other stuff for that eventually. Alfalfa barn and my hay truck. I don't use the standard auto load for hay. It just doesn't load. You can't get as much on there and it doesn't load it right. One of my tractors. This is the one I actually use with the snow blower, which is right there for when we do get snow. This is actually my shop tractor here. Just forks in case I need to load or unload something. Let's see. I need to. Whoop. He's this way. I can hear that truck didn't make that corner. Not sure where he's at. Oh, you know where he's at? I know where he's at. He is trying to get past that tree. Probably ought to take that tree out. In fact, yeah, let's do that. Should be able to. I use the map objects hider. When it works right, it works great. Probably the reason Nope. Let's go ahead and shut that off. See if we can get around the tree. We're gonna have to. Y'all didn't see this. I'm gonna use super strength. Then we're gonna go see if we can get rid of that tree. If you're tangled up with something, for some reason the map object hider sometimes does not cooperate. The other thing that it doesn't cooperate with is if you don't own the land around it. And let's see. Let's buy that. And let's see if I did it. Yep, that did not work. So we're going to go back here and let's try this. Could be... Maybe it's because it's between the two. Nope. Didn't work either. So let's get back out of here. We're going to go ahead and sell both of those back. Probably going to take a loss on them, but yeah, no. One does what one must. This truck, I haven't really created a spot for it to park permanently yet, so I've just been parking it right here for now. Now, back to here, we have our heavy tow. It's the RMC with the, it's got the service module with it and everything. And I have this with the better winches pack installed also. And then right here is just a field service truck. Again, RMC bed on one of the standard trucks. I don't know if maybe, let's see here. Turn the super strength off. And you should be able to, there we go. Open that, and then if you'll look in this second drawer from the bottom, right there, and hit the M. It's Control M? Nope. Let's see, I don't remember. Oh, just M. Boop. This will actually throw out your repair area, and you can either pull up to a tractor with it, or you can pull a tractor into it. To turn it back off again, you M again, and close your drawer. Close your door. You can't see the X on the inside of the door because of the color I've got it painted. So we're back to the Tri-6 tractor. And then we have our two Nexats here. And then we have all of the Nexat equipment lined up there. We have standard row crop harvesters, grain harvester heads. We have a planter and a seeder, and then the seed bins for the Nexats also. These are the only ones I really use with the Nexat. So here we are at the fire station. I have love the lights on this one. Not a big fan of German trucks. I think this is probably German. But really like the light package on this one. Far as the sirens on it, quite frankly, it's not my cup of tea, I guess. Nice light tower on top of it. You'd never see this in the US. The hose reels are interesting. I did these up for bit I was going to do on the did these up for a bit I was actually going to do on the Backroads County map. Did them up for Graham, Texas. Didn't really have any towns for Backroads County, so I did them up for Graham. This is the battalion chief's vehicle. Again, just throwing stuff out there. And I have yet to find a good ambulance to use. I really don't like the ones that I've seen in here. This was done for Backroads County. I cut my decal off just a little bit. Needs to be adjusted some. But Backroads County, again, heck of a nice little ride here. Truck. It's, again, Sheriff's Department. So have two of those. They're identical. So this is my Super Duty, just for moving stuff around. And I'm not real sure what this goober's doing here. Oh, I know what he's doing. I must have accidentally bumped the B key when I was over here earlier and activated him. And that kind of brings us back around to where we were at. Let's go ahead and grab go ahead and grab one of the trucks here, and we'll go around and look at some of the buildings. Of course, I'm using these are the modified Farmin buildings here. All of them have the solar panels on them, which are here. Let's go look at that, just in case you haven't seen them. Handy dandy. I forgot to activate this one. It's a good thing I came over here. So you're gonna walk up, go manage, and he's distributing, but yeah, he's working. Okay. Needs maintenance, it says. Huh. So I may have to put a maintenance point in. See, this one seems to be working perfectly here. Maintenance is fine. Oh, there we go. That's why. I want to activate that. Now I got electricity coming from this one. And I'll try something here while I got you guys. Well, it's not while I've got you here. I'm gonna try something. I wonder if the maintenance function from the field service vehicles will do anything on the maintenance buildings. This is totally an experiment. It's just the wrong one. There we go. Jump in the little one. Visit and get in. I'm just gonna send him to the Nexat Park area, and we'll catch him in a minute. So there's another way to maintenance those facilities like that. There's actually a maintenance point that you can put down that takes diesel. You fill it with diesel and it generates maintenance for your buildings and things. What I'm going to try, and again, it may work, it may not work. What I'm going to try is actually to use the maintenance function on this to maintenance that up. So we'll see. I tend to just click through stuff. There's more than one way to do it, but that's the way I do it. So there you go. So let's go. While we're waiting on him, we'll make the lap here. So everything on the left side there coming up is all the Copper Creek stuff. That's all Copper Creek Farm, everything there. Everything on the right is stuff that I've actually added to this. So I normally, like I was saying earlier, I normally ranch is what I do, so I'm going to have cattle. So what I have is I have two really large fermenters running. These are modded. I modded these myself. They're over 5 million in these. I'm not running any grass silage in this one. I'm only running the chaff silage. And as you can see, I've still got over 6 million liters of chaff in here, and then 87,000 liters of silage. This one over here, come over here, I've got 410, 238. This is the hay dryer. I tend not to do, for those of you who have not played with the, I'm gonna have to do something about that. I think it's, yep, out of space. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's grab a truck, and up here at Copper Creek, and what we're gonna do, let's visit. Let's go ahead and take belly dump 2. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that hay and put it in the TMR production. So we want to go dryer, feed, processing, TMR supply line, and we're going to take the hay. And we're going to make that an infinite loop for right now. So Usually try to ride one round with them, make sure that they're going to do what I want them to do, and there's nothing parked in the way and all that. In this case, there actually is something parked in the way. There's a truck there. But I'll jump out here and go over and move that right quick. Just to get it out of the way. It probably would have made it. It should take... So, if you're not playing with course play and auto drive, what are you doing? Really, come on. So this green line here should be the primary line through here, and it should take that truck and drop it right underneath the grass dryer control, or excuse me, the grass dryer pipe there. Got him out of the way. If you see, yep, that's exactly what he did. Follow the green line to the yellow line, and then he'll take the yellow line and he'll pull under here. As soon as he's under there, he's going to load a full load of hay. Now, if you want to do bales, that's your prerogative. Bales, to me, I just wear me out. Only thing I have bales of right now are alfalfa, and I usually sell all my alfalfa bales. I wait until the price is up and then either sell them to the animal dealer or wherever the best price is at, because that's the way we play the game. So what he should do is he should come over here, pull into the TMR production facility, and unload. I haven't modified this TMR production yet, so I do not even know how much it's going to hold. Hopefully a lot. Let's go see how much TMR we've got in here. We should have a pretty good start on... Let's see. Let's see. Well, we got 574. We got hay. We got straw. Yeah, 3.5 million in each one of those is a good route to go. The only one I should have active is the hay, straw. Yeah, silage hay straw. And running right now. And he will do that until this is full, is what he will do. So let's jump back over to our maintenance vehicle and see if we can fix that. So I'm thinking we probably want to back in. Jump out. And same process we went through earlier. We're going to come down here and come down here and hit that. Hit that. Hit the M. Then we're going to open the workshop, and it's not going to work. Just checking, but it didn't. back to the game. So, since that didn't work, we're going to have to turn everything back off. Close our system back up. By the way, this little yellow X is if you haven't played with IC, that's what that is. And pretty cool. Allows you to open doors, windows, or whatever the case may be. If the creator built that into it to work. So, we'll send him back home. Let's get right here. So, our guy is moving hay over now, and he will loop until he decides not to loop anymore. So, auto load and hay bales is kind of interesting because you really can't use auto load with hay bales. It'd be wonderful if you could, but you can't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a second path through the barn here. Probably just going to do it out here. So do a little construction stuff. I have Terraform enabled on here and use it when I'm not worried about being expeditious, I guess is the term. Let's go ahead and change that back. A little bigger. Nope, a little smaller. And what we want to do is we'll flatten. Now, we want to make that stronger than it is right now. So, and we'll use the tool here to do this. Okay, now, so what my goal is here is to create a second drive-by area. That will go on the outside of the building. And will allow me to load hay from here. Find out where the back of your trailer hits. That's always my goal anyway. And that's where you want to create your point. And we're going to just call it, to keep it together, Bale Barn Load. Now, what you can do is you can actually use the scroll wheel to make your things look a little neater like that. Always be sure to turn this off. It creates kind of a problem, because what happens is, and let's see, we need to throw some gravel down too, because that is going to be a muddy mess right there. So what you can do is, again, you can always go back to construction mode, switch over here, and we're going to do gravel, which on this particular set is right there. Gravel small. Yeah, that'll work. Now I have the mod installed that allows me to pull a straight line, but it only works on straight areas. So you still have to basically just figure it out when you're in these areas that are off of the center like that. The other thing I want to do is I want to actually create a path here. You gotta be careful with that too. Where is it at? There it is. And there we go. Let's make sure we got everything covered. And we do. Now then, what we can do is come in here and do a little bit of smooth. I would say make it a little bigger, but just make like one swipe through there. It's going to make your life much better. Now, let's go ahead and fix this road while we're here. Nope, that ain't it. Is that it? Nope. Nope. Let's see. That one maybe? Yep, that's it. So and then we'll come back up here to our grass. Grab a little grass and throw down here. Fix everything where it looks like it was there forever. And you might be wondering about this little swoosh over here in my field. Well, that, folks, was what's commonly known as a boo-boo. When I was working on putting my bale barn in here, I was doing some leveling and I messed up. Let's put it that way. So what I want to do is I'm going to fix that while I'm here. And I'm going to have to come back, believe it or not, and re-plow just that one little section there, because it changed the terrain under it. Now it doesn't calculate that as part of the field. So, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's, first of all, let's get him parked. Wasn't actually going to do anything with him. I was just wanting to get an area for him to load bales. So when we start selling them, we can do that quickly and easily. Let's come down here and grab this guy for a minute. And let's take him to 47 right quick. And travel. So, one of the things that I really like to do is I attempt to create a racetrack around any fields that I'm actually working on, which is what I'm on right now, this blue one. Using auto drive, what you can do is if you set your tractor to default to the nearest exit point. Let me see if I can show you. And field exit set to default on this one. So what you need to do is if you'll change that to closest point and make a racetrack around your field, it's going to go to the closest node of that field racetrack to leave the field. Now, doesn't sound like a big deal because if you're using courseplay, what courseplay does is courseplay uses the shape of the field to calculate the field exit. And if you go into the field at we're going to point 47 here. If you go into the field at point 47, when your truck, if you're picking up grain or if you're picking up hay or whatever the case may be, is going to only exit, by default, is only going to exit that field at that point. In other words, if it's on the far side of the field, it is going to go back all the way to that to do that. So, not the best option as far as I'm concerned anyway. So, what we're going to do here is I have this set to direct drill. I believe I have it turned on. Nope. Yep, that's right. Okay, so turn it on, lower the thing, and it's not going to work because it needs to be plowed first. Okay, so let's roll this all up, and I'm going to go get a plow so I can fix that field. Let's go this one. This one. That's the one I want right there. Nope. I thought I had gotten rid of all the New Holland stuff. Okay, that's fine. Let's just grab this John Deere. That's plenty. That is not the John Deere. That's the John Deere. Let's do this. Just to stop the visual clutter. And before anybody says anything, yes, I understand this is a cultivator, but I have create fields with cultivator turned on, so I can actually still do that. And I noticed there was a really big bump up here a minute ago when I went over it, and I'm trying to figure out where it's at. Right there. I gotta fix that too. And allow create fields, and lower, and there we go. And it should fold everything up. Oopsie. A little too close to that pear tree. Funny to me, a real tractor would have ripped that pear tree clean up out of the ground, but not the case here. So. Now then, let's go back over here and fix that field. Get that grass replanted. Try to overlap a little. I know technically I don't think you have to, but that's just me being me, I reckon. And it doesn't really matter. I'm plowing it under, but you know, there's a gap in the field anyway, so. And that should fix our little boo-boo there. Didn't fix our boo-boo because I still had grass in it. Or had oilseed radish in it. So, let's do this again. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. You get to do things twice. Copy. Make sure we got everything. So I got a little boo-boo there. Let's be left. There we go. We're all fixed now. Let's go put this tractor away. Okay, let's go check our plow out, see what he's up to. As I suspected, he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He is off wandering around somewhere. Okay, let's see if we can find him right quick. There he is. Exactly as I suspected it did. Let's see where he's at. Yep, all the way on the other side of the creek. Think here. Right there. Off doing his own thing. We got him fixed, so. Nearest and go. For some reason, when course play transitions either from the center of the field going up and down or from the headlands to go back to the straight fields, it wants to go wander. I don't know if it's missing the corner or what it is. And maybe it's a setting. I mean, but I've been playing with course play for a long time, and it's been a problem for a long time. I actually was playing with the AI worker functions in FS25 native, and quite frankly, I've been playing with auto drive and course play for a long time because there was a point that's what there was. There wasn't the AI workers sucked so bad that you really didn't have a lot of option. You really need to use something different. But since they have worked that all over, it seems to be much better, much more functional now than it used to be. Just taking a look here. Looks like we've probably been streaming now for going on an hour. Hour 13 minutes and 48 seconds. I'm probably going to go for another half hour or so, and then I'm probably going to pack it in for the day. We'll see. Don't really have a lot going on the map today. Tell you what we could do is check our prices on hay. Alfalfa. Well, it's really not hay, it's alfalfa windrow. Let's see where we're at. We are pretty much at the top right now. So, why don't we sell some animal dealer. Let's go back over to our truck. Right there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set this up. Make sure we got everything. And we're going to set it up as a route. Say barn load to the animal dealer. So points, animal dealer, there we go, right there. And we're gonna sell alfalfa windrow is what we're gonna sell. That's fine, all will work. And move him, nope. We're gonna move this back over. So what you can do is you can actually get your truck up here close. A lot of people don't realize you can do this. Get your truck up here real close. We want to change it to operating position. Jump out. And what we can do is come in here, and I can only pull 25 at a time. So let's see if that, there it is. Let's see if it'll let me pull more. And you know what? I think I need a tractor over here. Let's go. Let's use this one. I should really have a bale spike or something on here, but I'm not going to bother with that right this second. So what you can do is you can come over here and just use your tractor to push those bales far. Well, guess not. You're supposed to be able to. Let's do this. Let's go. Okay, let's try this. So, do any of you use stored deliveries? If you do, then you'll know what I'm doing. I set a delivery point. I'm going to go to this. I'm going to go down to hay. Right here. What do I want? No. Back. And let's see. Well, darn. I believe I need front loader, John Deere. back, back. And then we're going to go to front loader tools. And let's just use this bale spike here. Now, if I set this tractor up right, and I believe I did, I should be able to run over and grab that and use it. There we go. Now then, what a lot of people don't do, if they use store deliveries, they don't reset it. It's super easy to do. It's the same keybinds. So it's going to be Shift Alt, but then X resets it back to its original position. So there you go. Let's go here. There we go. That's what we were looking for. Let's go. Why is this happening? Why is this giving me trouble? Ah, that would be why. I have a full load. Let's jump out here and pull these back. So they don't get tangled up when I drive away. There we go. Now then. And we're off. I'm not real sure how that one there got there, but hopefully we'll... In fact, let's just stop and pull that sucker off. Because if we don't, it's going to wind up on the road someplace. Might as well ride through and let everybody see the map from the. This is going to be the northeast corner of the map. I haven't a clue why he's doing this, but oh well. That's auto drive for you. Yep, that's why. So, tips and tricks for the hay trailer. For those of you who haven't played with it much, one of the things that you will find is if I were to strap this load, i.e. click on the strap button, whatever, it literally changes the balance of the vehicle considerably. And what would happen is I would become very top heavy and probably wind up upside down somewhere between here and the animal dealer. So yeah, there's that. Soybeans. Up canola. Okay. Didn't remember what I planted there. I know I planted something. Started out I had music on. I don't know what happened to my music, so just been yapping. Again, beautiful, beautiful map. Love to play on it. I have done some edits to the actual game files. One of the things I've done is I've taken some of the depth of field, turned some of that off. To me, it was it made things look muddy, cloudy, I guess. Again, his water planes and things are really, really well done. It's very pretty map to drive on. Good old BNSF train. I hope there we go. I was going to say, I hope he slows down to make this corner, or we may get to see the sheriff's deputy. Now, here's one of the limitations with this particular bale trailer, is it doesn't seem to unload automatically. So what we'll have to do is once he gets to the sell point here, since it doesn't release the bales on its own, we'll actually, it says it sold a bale. I don't know. Stop. And I normally come in and take those trucks back out because they're kind of in the way. They're great. They look good, but there. So I'm gonna switch to transport position. Unload bales. Now, when you're pulling across the sale point like that with this one, what you want to do is hit unload bales here, which is going to actually unload them on the truck like that. And as you pull across, now you have to be careful because again they're not tied down at this point. As you pull across the sell point, they're going to all get sold. And about 40,000 on that. So, yeah. And now he's just going to try and go do it again. So let's go look over here. We didn't go look at this. We just kind of jumped past it. Let's see. Here's open area out here. You can kind of see my routing here. So this is for my trucking area here. Let's go down here. I added this to the map here. Found a really nice hospital mod and put on here. I just can't find the dad blamed ambulance now. It's kind of a shame. Again, if you've played as long as I've played, stuff didn't used to always cost something. It's kind of a shame because used to you could almost always find mods that were free. Now everybody's got their stuff paywalled on Patreon. Don't get me wrong, those guys work hard on that stuff. I don't begrudge them anything, I don't guess. It's just that it's changed our gameplay so much. And you know, FS25, I'll be quite frank, I don't think helped us much, because you went from, you had mods like the firefighting mod in 22 that came out, and I wasn't the only person that was excited about it, I'm quite sure, but I was quite excited about it. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's excellent. See how that loaded up right there? That's what it should do. And we're going to start. Ah, don't do that. See how he negotiates this. And the way he negotiated it is he didn't. Figured I'd grab that pail while I was there. Now, I'm going to drive on the inside here. I shouldn't, but I'm gonna. Because if I can get close enough, I can probably pick up almost all of those bales. I think I'm just going to leave that little John Deere down there to move those bales with. See what else we need over here. Still got plenty of room for hay. We need some straw and we need some silage. Probably, let's do this. Let's go. Let's have him start moving silage from enter one load to feed production, supply side, and it's going to be silage. Here we go. Boom. Now, the way auto drive is supposed to work is they should negotiate their route once it gets there. so they do not interfere with one another. Because if they're both running in auto drive, it's my understanding, and I'm no expert, that they can actually see each other on the auto drive courses. So let's take a one-way route, the blue routes. Now, if a truck enters from the north of a one-way route and another truck or tractor or whatever enters from the south of the route, they can see each other. So one of those vehicles will hold at that intersection there until it clears, and that keeps things from running into one another. But this is a mighty big but occasionally things don't go as intended, and they will get in each other's way. Let's check on our truck. Should be almost there. Where did he go? He's not up here yet. Yep, and that's exactly what I was wondering about. So, stop this one, back it up. I could say they should work it out, but we'll see. And there we go. Let's go turn that off. And it looks like they've figured their timing out now. So turn that off for a minute. There you go. Well, guys, we're pushing the 2-hour mark, and probably that's when I will call it a day for today. Again, probably going to get the rest of that hay moved. May get the rest of that field plowed. It's almost done, I believe. Yep, getting there quick. And we're going to get a lot of this silage and hay transferred over to the TMR production. And as soon as the wheat fields, which are down to the south there from us, are this one and this one. And those will actually get us a lot of the straw that we need for our TMR production. And then this big barley field up here will also get us a lot of hay straw for our productions. So it appears that the silage fermenters unload a little quicker than the hay does. So speaking of which, I need to go over. Let's just jump out there and walk across the road. I need to go check on my sheeps. Make sure they've got enough food. Plenty of food. And everybody's health is at 100%. Let's see how much wool we've collected. Still pretty short on wool. Yeah. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Sheep's the first animal I put in on this map. I really like the way the map is done with the going under the roadway like that. It just a very cool way to do it. They did the cows the same way. So let's see if I can jump. Here we go. Back here. Let's see. Interesting how when you change sources on here from one source to another, instead of just filling the rest of the way up from the other source, it wants to actually unload and then start filling from that source. It's no big deal one way or the other to me, but kind of an interesting thing, because you would think it would just automatically default to the next thing. And what you can do is, let's say I wanted it to load from either or, the Fermenter 1 or Fermenter 2. What you can do is you can take those two and put them in a folder. And then if you choose either one out of the folder, and if you look up here, there's a little reticon, and what this one is this one is multiple sources to the vehicle delivered to a single point. Which is pretty cool. And then what you can do is, like, he got all that out of that tower. You go ahead and hit that button, the next button, and he'll actually move on to the next stop. Come on, boys, talk it out. So that gets all of our silage moved to the TMR production. Both those are empty now. They're still processing, but they're both empty. And then it gets a big chunk of our hay moved over here. It hasn't moved it all yet, but quite a bit. And I will get out and see how much. It's kind of interesting. Used to, when you stepped out in front of a vehicle, and when I say that, I mean probably FS19. When you stepped out in front of a vehicle, it would stop. Now it doesn't stop anymore. It just kind of pushes you along with it. I mean, again, you're not going to get pushed by a semi. You're going to get run over. But it's just changes in the physics of the game. And don't get me wrong, the physics in FS25 are phenomenal. I mean, like, beyond really, really cool. Because, I mean, you got to figure it calculates weights, it calculates slopes and grades, and figures out how much you can pull or lift up or down, whatever the case may be. Now, again, like I said earlier, everything in Farm Sim is, and I don't think negotiable is the correct term, but it fits, is if you can code a little bit, or at least figure out how to code a little bit, you can pretty much change it to be anything you want. And if you can code a little bit and model a little bit, then you're way ahead of the game. Let's see where my truck's at. Saving. So this is just a supply storage. I have bale wrap in here right now. Just to kind of, and where is my hay truck? Where did he go? Almost done here. Up, there he is. Let's go ahead and take one more load of hay, I think. They used to have a really cool little device that someone had ginned up that would push things along for you. Where that went, I'm not sure. But it definitely went away. So let's go ahead and push these up. Some more of that physics for you there. Because there wasn't any way it was going to let me push the two stacks of bales. Tractor's a little light for this, but I could always go grab a weight and put on the back of it, but let me know what you think. If I should keep doing them broadcasts with no music, or if I should try to add the music back. quite frankly, there's so much stuff out there that says that it's royalty free or copyright free, and you add it to your videos, and the next thing you know, somebody's copyright claimed it, and there you are with a strike. So that's not any fun. Tell me if you have any suggestions, anything that you'd like to see. I've noticed that there's some guys doing some Terraform videos. If you don't know what Terraform is, Terraform actually allows your tools, i.e. a front-end loader, bulldozer, road grader, whatever the case may be, to work like it would actually work in the real world, i.e. you can dig a hole or whatever the case may be. I actually need to put something up here. I haven't, so I don't know where my case for this is, but we're gonna run over here and so one of the things that comes with Terraform is the survey equipment. And so what you can actually do is, if you X, just like you would anything, enter it as, nope, not that one. If you come over here and you go to calibrate like this, what you can do is you can tell it you want to calibrate. Let's go ahead and reset. I'm going to calibrate. Let's calibrate this. So what you can do is it sets, this is your level here, and let's say you want to slope this down to here. Now it will actually calculate that for you. Tell it to apply, and it'll actually tell you that it's down 5.10 degrees. Now, if you want to change that, you can actually, let's go 6. And confirm. And what that's going to do is that's going to tell you that you can actually raise the ground to that point there. It's amazing is what it is. Reset, and then we're going to go exit the menu. Now it has a really cool box. There we go. X. And it puts it back in the box. And now you can pick it up and put it in your truck. Like so. Well, I said like so. There we go. Now it's all loaded up. And you can come back in here and strap it, and you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this truck away. And while I'm doing that, I'd like to thank you guys for following me around today, and I enjoy playing, whether you're watching or whether you're not watching. I would Love to have folks input and talk to them about the game, about Farm Sim. Uh, for those of you who are new to the game, uh, it's keep learning. Quite frankly, I think they ought to have it play in high schools all over the place and use it as a learning tool, because our our kids nowadays don't have a clue where their food comes from. They don't understand that that the backbone of our nation is our farmers and ranchers, and they're the ones that feed us. And gee, I wish people could figure that out. It's the thing is I hear all this climate change malarkey. Boy, that was a lousy parking job. I hear all this climate change malarkey, and it angers me a little, because people are saying cow farts are causing the climate change, and quite frankly, I mean, I've heard some pretty decent arguments that's probably not the case. But hey, it's just the way it is. I think we have entirely too many Greta Thunbergs in the world, and not enough people playing Farm Sim. We can't all be farmers, but we can all contribute to the idea that there's nothing wrong with being that farmer out there. And I hope you guys see that in the game. For me, it's not a means to an end. I'm not trying to become YouTube famous or anything. There's a lot of that going on. I just like I say, not wanting to be YouTube famous or anything. I just want people to realize kind of what's going on out here, and that's why, like I say, I don't play completely realistically, but I play close enough that people get an idea of what's going on. I plow when I need to plow, and fertilize when I need to fertilize. So, which are all things that I don't think people realize a lot of times that are actually going on, and so just remember that there's somebody behind every hamburger. There's somebody behind every bite you've ever taken. And thank you folks for watching, and try to have a great weekend. Definitely going to be what I'm shooting for, is to have a great weekend. Thank y'all. Come back again.